From hot tea to spicing up your relationship, Dr. Anna Elton says she knows the formula of desire. She spills everything in her new book, and today she's here to share more about what couples can do to keep things spicy. Hello to you, Dr. Elton.
Thank you for having me here.
So glad to have you. So let's talk about it, because your book, The Formula of Desire, it comes out on August 1st, actually, but what will readers expect from it?
So it has three parts. First, I talk about what happens when we meet someone. How do we get attracted to someone? And then we go into the emotional sides of things. Because when we think of desire, it's not just the physical part. We need to feel connected, right?
I like that, the emotional part of everything.
Especially for women.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so to keep things spicy this summer, you say couples can create connection before expecting desire, which was kind of what you just said,
Yep.
that emotional before the physical. And so what does that mean? How does that show up in the day-to-day life? How do we make sure that we're mentally there for our partner?
Well, first of all, we need to talk to our partners because I feel like this is something that we assume that we do, but we don't really pay attention to our partners. What I hear from my couples, something like, well, you know, my coworkers know me better than my partner, which sounds sad, right? But again, this is when you think about life gets busy and then we stop really investing in our relationship. We think relationship is good, so we focus on other things. So we need to bring that desire back into the relationship.
There you go. Okay, so when you say desire, it's almost like a yearning for your mate, right? Because sometimes things can get a little stale when you stay in it for a long period of time. And so you have to actively choose to put desire back into your partner.
Absolutely.
And so you say, first tip is to add novelty to your routine. What do you mean by novelty?
Well, novelty is something that is missing from long-term relationships. Because when you first meet someone, you're looking for that safety, you're looking for commitment. And then what commitment and safety does, it feels good, but it also dulls desire. So you need to bring some new experiences to your relationship. And then when someone thinks like, what can I do? You think of dates, right? Small or big. So it doesn't need to be something big or extravagant, right? It can be something like as small as, you know, going for a walk.
Yes. Intentionality is what I'm hearing from you. Making sure that you're paying attention and taking a little bit of time. And like she said, it doesn't have to be big. Sometimes just a flower at the end of the day makes someone feel better. Or just, I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you made it through the day. I'm glad that you did that. You also say to start flirting again. Act like you're dating.
Absolutely. And this is something that a lot of couples missing. They don't even know how to flirt again. And they say like, I don't know. So I always say, think about like, what did you do back in the day? And also let your partner know that you're flirting, because this is something, as funny as it sounds, sometimes partners have no idea that they're flirting.
Goes right over, right over their head, right? You also say to protect your couple time. I think this is a big one, especially in families. We get so wrapped up in life and discourse. It's hard to pay attention to what's right in front of you.
Absolutely. So in my book, I have this framework, three model selves. So I talk about individual self, couple self, and family self. So when you're single, you start with the individual self, things that you like to do for yourself. And then when we meet the partner, we create this second persona, couple self, right? That's when we figure out like what we like to do as a couple. And then when we have kids, that's the family persona comes in. So what happens with couples in long-term relationships who struggle, they fulfill family persona. They fulfill maybe self-persona, individual persona, but what's missing is the couple's persona.
And that's usually the one that falls by the wayside when life gets busy. You're right. You also say, and this is for everybody, to put the phones down.
That's a big one, because I feel like a lot of couples say like, we're just so busy, life, bills, kids, we just don't have time for this time together. But then think about the evening, when you have half an hour. The couple's on the phones next to each other,
scrolling.
but they're not connecting. So put the phones down, and maybe like once a week. Wednesdays, tech-free night. That's when you intentionally connect with each other. Maybe checking in about the day, maybe even playing a board game, something.
Something simple. I like how you keep going back to that. It doesn't have to be extravagant. And then just remembering that intimacy starts before you even get into the bedroom.
Absolutely. So that's when you need to still connecting through the day. So I've been with my husband for 25 years. So high school sweetheart, 3 kids.
Congratulations. Let me just say that's rare these days.
So what we do, we have the 3-touch rule. So through the day, we want to make sure that we still touching each other. You know, just like walking by and say hi, you know, giving a hug. So the touch is really, really important. So 20-second hug or longer can release oxytocin, love and bonding hormone.
I like that you're putting a number on
Yep.
it. Like, help us. Let's get right with our couple this summer. Yes, indeed. Tell me quickly, how can we get the book?
So the book is available in all the stores. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and other stores. So the book has the website, theformulaofdesire.com, the title of the book. So you can get all the options there. I also have assessment. So it's the relational desire score that measures the health of your relationship and some different tools and tips for couples.
Nice. Very, very good. Well, Dr. Elton, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you.